Hey there, folks. Welcome to yesterday's news for August 14th, 2018. Um, Interesting day today, I guess. So, first thing I would talk about is the apparently ongoing saga of Omarosa and Trump. Um, yeah, I don't know why we didn't expect a continuation of reality TV, snarky back and forthness. But it's kind of like, she publicly proclaims that she brought a clandestine recording device into the White House, which I'm pretty sure is kind of illegal, in order to prove once and for all that Donald Trump is a jerk. Because, there were people who didn't think that. Anyways, I think it's just a whole bunch of nothing to really think about. Everybody knows he's a jerk. Okay, so you have him on tape being a jerk, and you got those tapes illegally. Good job. Oh well. But I'm sure CNN would love to make a great big story out of this if they can. So the next story is that apparently the entire Supreme Court of West Virginia was all impeached all at once for various cases of misconduct and misappropriation of funds, etc. Yeah. Well, at least they got caught, I guess. And that there is no government entity that you can just trust to be good. They're all going to tend toward excess. They're all going to tend toward waste. They're all going to tend towards corruption. And the more you know that, the better you can keep them in check. And hopefully that is the end result here, that whoever replaces, apparently West Virginia doesn't have a Supreme Court anymore. Hopefully whoever replaces them will be more accountable to their usage of state funds. So keep be vigilant on that stuff, and be aware that, any government agency is likely to be skimming something. So keep your eyes out, try to hold them accountable if you can. So the last and most interesting story I want to talk about, in my opinion, which wasn't in the main news, it was in the recommendations for me. So in North Dakota, they have the police department. There's a police department that has requested AR-15s for their school resource officers. And I think this is a fantastic idea. Why? That might freak some people out who aren't familiar with the AR-15. The fact of the matter is the AR-15 is really the ideal weapon for that kind of application. So people don't necessarily realize that the AR-15 is not particularly powerful. It is extremely accurate and lightweight, which makes it good for dynamic engagements. The thing that is really special about the AR-15 and the 5.56 bullet is that it actually has less of a tendency to overpenetrate, meaning going through your intended target and then continuing on with enough power to hurt somebody. It actually has less tendency to do that than a 9mm handgun. It is basically because the bullet's so tiny and it's going so fast. When it hits a target, if it's like a person, the bullet typically fractures and disintegrates. If it's a brick wall, obviously it'll disintegrate. It will go through drywall, but it will destabilize when it goes through drywall, and it'll go through 2 or 3 standard house walls with 2 layers of drywall. Go through 2 or 3, but by the time it gets through the third one, it's flopping all over the place, and it's not nearly as dangerous. So it's basically you have it's very effective because when you do whatever it hits first, it does a lot of damage to, but it doesn't do much damage beyond that. And it's also extremely accurate and extremely easy to shoot accurately, even in a dynamic situation. So if you're in a situation where you have a lot of innocent bystanders running around and one bad guy wreaking havoc, and you want to stop the bad guy, there really is no better weapon on the market today than an AR-15. So I'm glad that somebody is looking past the political haze and making that proper tactical choice. Hopefully they're not making the choice for stupid political reasons, because I'm sure there's some people who would do that too. But the analysis stands that it's really the best weapon for that type of application that's out there. So I hope more schools, more banks, more anywhere that has armed security takes that lead and recognizes that this is actually the superior tool to use for armed security in a crowded location. So with that, I wish all the best to the police in North Dakota with their plan here. And if you enjoyed this content, like, share, and subscribe. If not, continue to ignore me, and I will see you tomorrow.